Okay, and you hear me.
I can hear you, yes. And you can hear me fine?
I hear you fine.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
just
perfect.
the Instagram one isn't the most prettiest view, but it is what it is.
That's okay. Mine either. My Instagram view doesn't look very good either.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so are you ready? I'm going to go over to Instagram.
yes.
You just keep an eye, and I'm going to go.
So you're gonna invite me on Instagram?
You have to come in.
Okay.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. So today we are going to be here with Tony Ghazi. And as many of you guys know, I posted a video yesterday about the 3i-Atlas where I gave my opinions on it. But some people said that I was not being open-minded to the spiritual, astrological messages, and people want to hear about that. So I'm going to be open-minded. I'm going to be willing to be wrong. I'm going to be willing to change my mind. So I'm going to be inviting my amazing friend, Tony Ghazi, who is an incredible channeler. He's actually the only channeler that I trust at this point. So this is coming with my discerning mind and my opinion of who I believe that would be a great person to come to for this information. So Tony channels Mantis Beings. And we're going to not be channeling the 3i-Atlas. We're going to be channeling the beings that he connects with, which are Mantis beings from the Ontarian star system. And we're going to ask them questions that have been submitted, and also that's some that I've come up with. So, Tony, can you send the request over to Instagram and come join us?
Yes. Yeah, somehow I was waiting for you. There you go, invite. Okay, I think now it's gonna work. You got it?
Oh, no, someone else is requesting.
Oh,
No, someone else is requesting. Where is Tony?
okay, let's see, JK. I'll try again. All right, invite.
I think you have to come into my live. Click on mine and then request.
Oh, I see. Got it. Okay, 1 second. 1 second. Okay.
And now I'm wondering they're going to hear the echo on Instagram.
Hold on. We'll work this out.
Okay, you have to click on my live.
Yes, I'm coming. There you go. Live. Okay. And all right, send request. Okay, it's coming.
Joined. And you are here.
Okay, amazing. Okay, it's doing its thing. It's almost there. There we go.
Okay, welcome.
Hi. Okay, finally we did it. Okay.
We are here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's creating an echo.
Oh, hold on. How about now? It's gone.
Hello? Okay, so we have to turn down that.
Okay, let me turn that down. Hello.
Oh man, it sounds horrible.
Okay, how about now?
It's creating like a feedback loop.
Yeah, I hear you. And like you lowered your.
I lowered it because we're hearing both. How does it sound for people? The Jimi Hendrix event. Mute the phone, right.
Oh, did you mute your phone?
I have it all the way down. Can you guys hear me with it all the way down? Hello, do you guys still hear? Turn the volume all the way down on Instagram too, Tony, on the other device.
It
How
is
do
on.
you guys hear? Do you guys hear us? Less feedback now. Beautiful. Okay, it's good on TikTok.
Okay.
We hear both of you. Okay, we hear you, everybody, on both devices. Okay, so amazing. So as I said in the introduction, we are going to be channeling today. Tony channels Mantis Beings. So we are going to be open-minded about what is happening with the 3i-Atlas. I'm going to come in here completely. Anything that I believe about this situation, I am releasing, and I'm just going to hold the space of being a neutral host and answering the questions that have been submitted and questions about 3i-Atlas. So we're going to give Tony a moment to get into the space to call the Mantis beings in. We're going to give him a moment of silence, and then he'll let us know when he's ready.
All right, everyone, I'm going to go in. It will take about 20-30 seconds to bring them through, and then you can begin asking me questions. Are we still okay with the sound?
It's echoing now. It's creating a feedback.
Yeah, mine is all the way down. Yeah, because I hear it.
Someone's saying put a towel under your phone or something. Major feedback. Try pausing, Tony.
Hello? I hear it. How about now?
Can you try the headphones for one of the devices?
Yeah, let me do it. Hello, hello?
That sounds good.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Oh my God, we did it.
Okay. So we're going to give Tony a few moments to get in the zone. Perfect.
And from the Antares Stargate, we come through in this way. To co-create with you this beautiful reality of oneness. To merge our hearts with your hearts. To be one with you in this way. To be one with the magical energies that each and every one of you are. And as we connect in this way, we have already heard through the vines of the architecture of the infinite consciousness and intelligence, your desire to connect more to whom you truly are. And as you begin to deconstruct your matrix of limitation, the reality in which you created by your own power, you will begin to see essentially beyond the veil. Beyond the veil of your own essence as an infinite, intelligent being that lives forever and ever and ever, allowing yourselves to experience the multi-dimensional, kaleidoscopic nature that you are. And as you expand, you begin to see in many ways beyond what the eyes, the physical eyes on your physical bodies have been trained to do. You will begin to see with your electromagnetic field that surrounds your physical body. You begin to see and hear with your heart. And you begin to see in many ways that are there at your disposal in order to comprehend and understand what the infinite is beyond what the mind constructs the infinite to be. And with that, we will begin our dialogue with you in this way. You may ask your question when you are ready.
Thank you so much. So we have gathered here today for a few questions that people have been asking about this 3i-Atlas that has been in the news and coming up in NASA, and there's been many different messages about it. So the first thing I would like to ask, the Mantis Beings, for those of you just joining, is we're not channeling the comet itself, we're channeling Mantis Beings and asking their perspective from a higher perspective. Is it truly a comet?
We paused to allow you to think a little bit deeper as you pose such a question. What is a comet to begin with? You have been trained to see the idea of a comet through your limited eyes, through your limited definition of what is. And remember, the idea of perception, the idea of the lens in which you see your world and many worlds begins with you. So yes, as a collection of humans, as a collection of souls on your planet you call humanity, you have decided as a whole that a comet looks like this, feels like this, is similar to this construct. When in reality, what this intelligence is attempting to do, which you are creating through your own energy and essence within your own body, is to allow you to begin to see beyond what a comet has been predefined in your mind to look like. It is an invitation for each and every one of you to begin to trust your own architecture and blueprint of the infinite that you are, and to allow your minds, in a sense, to ascend with your consciousness, the intelligent essence of who you are, to begin to see what seems to be a comet, what seems to be a predefined look agreed on upon by your society, to begin to be experienced from different ways. It is an invitation to stretch the reality of what you think is, to fall into the unknown that your mind doesn't comprehend yet. But through the idea of trusting yourself as an infinite divine being, having access to the divinity and the knowledge and the wisdom that is built in within your DNA structure and code, allows you a different perspective and a different lens to begin to see the all from a different view. Does that make sense?
Yes. A lot of people in the comments are wanting a more clear answer of, is it a comet or is it not?
You get to decide. The idea of clarity and absolutism is an old way of thinking, our dearest ones. We are here not to use old antiquated ways in which to decipher and understand the infinite to understand the infinite. We invite you to begin to rely on your own discernment. Again, your own DNA intelligence structure that is able to see beyond the limitation, the forgetfulness, the separation of what is. So as a divine sovereign being, should you choose to rely on the preconceived notion and definition within your field to perceive such an intelligent essence as a comet, yes, you will see it as a comet. Was that a little helpful?
Yes. So basically, each person gets to decide for themselves what they believe it to be.
Indeed, and through that base of belief system and empowerment of self to trust what is coming through allows the expansion within. Because keep in mind, each and every one of you, what is perceiving outside of you is not really happening outside of you. Everything is emanating from the projection of your own reality. So depending on how deep and far you go in within yourself into the unknown is what will be revealed on the outside. So shall you believe the rest of humanity, we will say, and the world, that is a comet, and not allow yourself to discern, to go into your own power, to begin to see beyond the veil, then you will experience such a reality of a comet. You get to decide. You get to choose. Because the idea here is to allow you to re-empower yourself as a divine being. And remember that you have the codes of wisdom within you to be able to detangle, deconstruct what was once constructed and is and continues to be constructed by your society's paradigm. Is that clear?
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of people claiming that they're having different connections to this. Some people are saying it's coming here and it's a Pleiadian starship, it's an Orion starship, it's coming here with alien soldiers on it, it's coming here with higher consciousness on it, it's coming here to change the Earth's magnetic field. So, are all of those things true in a way?
The short answer is yes. But remember, again, it is happening and emanating within your lens, which is why each and every one of you is able to detect a sample of a truth of something that contains an infinite truth within it. It depends on the lens in which you believe and see that you're able to identify, and what you are missing out is that within that body that you call AI3-Atlas, that you have labeled it perhaps as a comet, contains the infinite. And because the infinite is contained already within it as an intelligence, each and every one of you is able to decipher what already connects within your field. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So, is there any clarity that you can give kind of based on the two different types of things, of people who believe that it's aliens and a group of people believe that it's a comet? What is that telling us about those two groups of people?
You see, even within the paradigm in which you are deciphering the world and what is happening, there are more than two truths. Perhaps you categorize them under, is it a comet, is it alien? When in reality, if you go deeper and deeper into each soul, into each human, into each lens, you will begin to deconstruct those two categories into many categories and many kaleidoscopic views. And remember, it is your collective as a humanity, the collection of souls, the consciousness of each and every one of you that seems to be separate, but a whole that is creating this experience. You are creating a barometric, in a sense, test. You are testing yourself through your consciousness, through your own intention, through your own internal dialogue and system, that I am perhaps ready to meet more of who I am. I am perhaps ready to see beyond the veil, hence why the idea of such a comet began appearing. Because in reality, nothing is appearing on the external. It is all a perception of what is already happening within each of your fields. So you are playing a game with yourself, allowing humanity to either believe in the idea beyond the veil or not, whether to live in the structure of limitation, forgetfulness in the matrix, or begin to deconstruct the matrix to be able to see beyond it. Is that clear?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I might come back to this because there is different versions of this question that came up. But for now, I would like to ask, where did this comet come from? Did it break off of something?
Where did this comet come from? Nothing came from outside, from what seems to be space. Everything is occurring within your field. It is a construct of your own imagination. It is a permission slip that each and every one of you created consciously or unconsciously through the idea of self-work and wanting to find out more on the beyond, that created the collection, in a sense, of data that appears to be a comet on your planet for your mind to be able to understand. The idea that this planetary body, regardless whether it is a comet or any other label your humanity can place on it, coming from outside in, somewhere unknown into your reality, is beginning to break the paradigm of what your reality is. Are you understanding beneath the tone in which you pose such a question?
Mm-hmm. So basically, humanity as a collective created this experience for us to explore this topic.
Indeed, for each and every one of you to go within yourself. Remember, as each and every one of you is trying to comprehend what is happening, and as each and every one of you are attempting to connect with such alien being or intelligence beings, and each and every one of you is bringing knowledge and facets from your own lens, is allowing you to have the opportunity to notice what is occurring within you. So shall you hear a storyline or a paradigm that UFOs are about to land and destroy Mother Earth? There's an attack, imminent attack. Notice what is happening within your field. That is the key. Should someone else say there is a Pleiadian being on there, or Mantis being, or any other consciousness, as you hear those new facets of information out there, the invitation truly is, how are you reacting to each of the storylines? Because in reality, each of the storylines are a valid part of the infinite. And each of the storylines and timelines are valid realities that each and every one of you can exist and be in. And it is up to you to decide which timeline you choose to be on. Is that making sense?
Mm-hmm. So a lot of people were wondering if this is impacting the Earth's magnetic field in any way as it's traveling here.
The word impacting, we will surrender. We will use the idea of merging in as one. That depending on the collection of thoughts and intentions and decisions that each and every of your humans will decide on this planet is what will tell Mother Earth, in a sense, and this intelligent consciousness to either be as one and share codes together or not. And we are going to stretch your imagination even further, our dearest ones. What is this concept of Mother Earth? You see yourselves as separate from the all, living on this planetary body you call Mother Earth, when also Mother Earth is an intelligence of your own creation, is part of you. Each and every one of you are a natural essence of the infinite, simply expressing itself in the category or the body you call Mother Earth. So you are more intertwined and connected and are as one with Mother Earth as you think. The same with the idea of this cometary body. It is of your creation emanating from your own consciousness and your own free will to allow yourself to expand to the more. Is that making sense?
Mm-hmm. And so
allow us to say that we are here to expand your paradigm. We are here to challenge the idea in which you see yourself and your connection to the infinite. We are not here to allow you to stay in the forgetfulness that you have once chosen. It is time for humanity to awaken because you have chosen to awaken. Hence why everything that is happening in your world is of an awakening frequency and vibration. To take you beyond the conceptual idea of things and to begin to embody the essence of what you are saying.
So from the 3i-Atlas perspective, how does it perceive itself?
The 3i-Atlas perspective is an intelligence already perceiving itself in many ways, our dearest one. And the way in which it perceives itself is through the information and dialogue and intention and electromagnetic energy that each and every one of you sends to it. You allow it to experience itself through your eyes. This is why the consciousness of rocks and mountains on your planet and stones are there. They seem very dense, they seem very inanimate, they seem stuck in where they are because they have chosen fully to experience themselves through the mirrors in which you see them. So they are able to see the kaleidoscopic nature of each and every one of you. Is that making sense?
Mm-hmm. And so basically, it perceives itself however the other observations are seeing it. So if people are seeing it as uh, just a rock flying through the sky, it perceives itself as a rock through the sky. If other people are perceiving it as an alien ship, if other people are perceiving it as almost like an alien warship that is coming here, some people believe that there's reptilians on it. Is it experiencing all of those different things?
Indeed, it has a higher intelligence, and we will say the idea of higher self to allow your minds to understand of itself as something grander. But yes, through each of the options that each and every one of you has, the option of thinking of that comet to be as a thing or a concept of a living consciousness, yes, it gives it the options to begin seeing itself from those many facets. It is a remembrance of such, and it is an awakening code data stream that you send to it for it to begin to see itself from the lenses in which you see it. And this is how the gifts work with each and every one of you, our dearest one. Each and every one of you are mirrors, ascended masters, intelligent consciousness, reflecting back to each other what you cannot see within yourself.
So, in general, let's say this rock formation, is it easier or just different for those forms of life to experience multiple versions of themselves than it is for a human in our form? So, like, I can experience myself as Jen. I can experience myself as kind of different versions of Jen, and then I have an awareness that I'm beyond this, but I don't get to fully experience my awareness beyond this. I just get to have a knowingness of it. Is it different for these other types of life forms, like a comet, like a rock, like these minerals that are on this comet? Are they able to kind of experience multiple versions of themselves?
Indeed, from a different way in which you have described. But the co-creation of what is occurring right now, again, each and every one of you on this planet, each human on this planet, the collective consciousness of your humanity is what created that aspect, allowing each other to begin to experience each other from those infinite facets. Was that helpful?
Yes. So I have some other questions that I think, will be, with this perspective, a little difficult to answer, but to honor the questions that were asked. Are the photos of it real?
Discernment is needed. The idea of a photographic image is one idea. Going deeper into what that potential photo, may it be real or not real, what that invokes within you on the possibility of what you are seeing is really where the test is to allow you to expand. We will say, be mindful on what you are observing on your television sets, social media. Be mindful on what is being presented by others. But at the same time, notice with each photo or video that you see and the differing degrees of variation, what is really occurring within you, what you are truly inviting within yourself to receive and accept and break beyond the paradigm, or stay within the construct of limitation, perhaps due to fear or any other emotional spectrum within your field. You see, oftentimes our answers are not black and white, and we understand that you desire because you have been trained of the right and the wrong. But there is no right and there is no wrong. There is no good and there is no evil. What is everything as an option. All as part of creation, all as part of the infinite, all truths are true. It is time, and you are inviting yourself to break away from the duality of things. You have lived the idea of duality for quite a while, and you have mastered it quite well as the beautiful and intelligent, aware creations you are. But you have also invited within your field awakening codes that allow you to go beyond the idea of duality and begin to experience what the infinite looks like, feels like, is like, experience like. You get to choose.
So these unique properties and this unique trajectory where it has appeared to move in a way that we haven't observed before, is that happening because of the projections on it? The people saying this is different, this is weird, this is unique, is that causing it to act more uniquely?
Precisely. It is a co-creation of a reality. And the way in which you pose that question reminds you of the infinite power each and every one of you has. What a beautiful reminder to know fully beyond the concept, to know fully that with every thought I have, with every feeling I experience, with every heartbeat that I have, with every breath that I take, with every step that I experience on this mother planet is creation. So you get to decide what this consciousness and intelligence that you created to finally be for you. And stretching that idea even further, it may have been just a construct by your own imagination to begin to allow you to think of other intelligences and consciousnesses living beyond your planetary bodies in a way that is real. Because oftentimes you do live in the idea of fantasy, oftentimes you do daydream, but you do not believe that the idea of fantasy and daydream is reality. So this permission slip that you have given to yourself to experience such a foreign body that is coming from elsewhere outside of your solar system into your solar system, perhaps the whole idea for it to simply come in, activate you, awaken you, give you options for you to choose, and it goes away doing its own thing as this intelligent consciousness, co-creating other realities with other beings beyond humanity.
So, tagging on to that, if people want disclosure to happen in a certain way, are they able to create that? Or is it because there's so many people wanting different types of things that it's not creating it?
Remember, disclosure isn't always about the collection of humans on your planet. Disclosure begins within. Disclosure begins within yourself. What if you, out of the billions of people out there, experiences what the idea of disclosure is? And what is disclosure? Disclosure, the idea of disclosure has been defined as a dramatic, we will say, not traumatic, dramatic event of UFOs landing on your planet, of beings appearing, etc., etc., for all of the humans to experience. But what if one of you, or two of you, or 1,000 of you, or 1,000,000 of you out of the billions have their own disclosure within and are able to connect, meet aliens, see spaceships? Isn't that disclosure?
I do believe that disclosure is individual.
Indeed.
A lot of people are expecting disclosure to basically be told to them. So if majority of people are expecting disclosure to be declared for them, will they experience it?
The more that you disempower yourself to wait for someone else to tell you what disclosure is, when disclosure is, the more that you will stay in this loop of separation and limitation. You get to have the power. You get to remember that you are the powerful being. You are the portal of creation that allows you to remember that the wisdom that you seek from outside the illusion of separation is already within you. Disclosure begins within your own DNA blueprint to remember that you are part of the infinite, part of the all, are the wisdom, are the access, are the portals, are everything within you. Many of you who have experienced the idea of spaceships or seeing fairies or other beings, that didn't occur from the outside in. That happened within your field. You have restructured the architecture of who you are, your belief system to know that you are and believe beyond the idea of believing, fully knowing that you are consciousness, that you are tethered to the infinite webbing of creation. And when that occurs within you, when you know that you are one with all, then your electromagnetic field will shift, your frequency and vibration to shift, to allow you to be able to perceive what always has already been there. And speaking of the idea of this cometary body, this is not the only cometary body that has ever passed your planet or being or other spaceships. Many millions, billions, and trillions of consciousnesses are always around you. You are simply not able to perceive them.
So some people were curious about that this, from our perspective on Earth, it traveled here from the Sagittarius star system, the constellation. People want to know if there's any significance around that.
The idea of Sagittarius star system is a point of the infinite, but this collection of energies, this desire, wish, and hope, this realization, and listen carefully, each and every one of you, this realization of your internal hope and desire of wanting to know more about the infinite is what realized and created such a structure. And no, it did not begin from the idea of Sagittarius. It began from the consciousness of, we will say, the idea of God or creation. And remember, there are infinite parallel realities. There are infinite dimensions and densities in which such realizations bring pieces together to begin to create such an aspect. But Sagittarius is a point within the infinite in which this realized creation has begun. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So people were wondering about kind of this symbolism of Sagittarius, which is like philosophy is one of the main things. So people wanted to know, and like learning, teaching, things like that. So they wanted to know if there's significance to that.
We believe the question is already clear to each and every one of you, but yet you do not believe. Perfect example of how you live in the idea of concepts and not know what you are fully saying. You have already connected, each and every one of you, or the ones that have connected to the idea of Sagittarius, idea of philosophy, idea of expansion, idea of education, idea of knowing more, yes? You say that, yet you do not trust what you are saying. But that is your internal knowing, so trust what you are saying. And yes, that is a facet of understanding. Yes, there is an element in which you have desire to know more, educate yourself more. The idea of philosophy at times is so esoterical, but now it's becoming real. Now you are proving to yourself that what was once fantasy and philosophy has always been real. You are creating that. Trust your discernment. Trust the lens in which you, as the facet of the infinite, is interpreting what you are experiencing. Because each and every one of you, our dearest ones, will always experience your reality from a different lens and a different architecture of light. There are no two facets of creation. that experience the same precise thing, because the geometric structure in which each and every one of you are made of are specific to you, for you to see your world and experience your world and interpret your world from that lens. But the collection of all of these facets, the collection of all of these lenses, the collection of all of these potentialities is what creates the infinite, and that's what each and every one of you is attempting to understand.
So people also wanted to know the significance of the name 3i, as in third eye, and they want to know, like, why is that the name? Is there any deeper meaning to that?
How deep would you like us to go when the message is clear to each and every one of you, yet you do not believe in what you say? The 3i-Atlas. I see more beyond. Each and every one of you are desiring to see beyond the eyes, and not simply through the idea of seeing visually, but the idea of comprehending and understanding the infinite as is. Beautiful synchronicity, we will say, for the name to be as such, but of your creation to begin with. There are many clear signs in which each and every one of you would be able to fall fully into surrender, but yet you doubt, because you do not trust what you are saying. You do not trust your own vehicle of creation. You always are waiting for someone else to tell you what is real, to tell you what is right, when all of it begins with you. You are the one that needs convincing. You are the one that is looking for surrender. You are the one that is ready to jump into the void of the wisdom that your mind cannot comprehend until you fully surrender into such a void.
So again, it comes back to, for example, the person who wants to see 3i as a message of third eye, and then another person who sees it as this is just the scientific name of it because it's the third interstellar object. Both of those people are correct in their assumption.
Precisely. Because each and every one of them are coming from their own belief systems that allows them either to see beyond the veil or to stay within the limitation in which they have created within their own self. And through the eyes of creation, there is no wrong or right. Within the eyes of creation, it honors each and every one of your views. It allows you, through your free will power, to experience your reality and the infiniteness through your own choices. It is all what comprises what the infinite is. And that is what each and every one of you is heading eventually to, the idea of unconditional love. Loving all aspects of creation, loving all realities of creation, loving all possibilities, probabilities that each and every one of you can fathom and imagine, loving them all unconditionally as part of the infinite, because each of those pieces is what creates the infinite. But you're humans on this planet, many of you still conditionally love and still judge through the idea of wrong or right. Allow us to illuminate your mind with the following message. Shall you fully understand that you are an infinite being? Shall you desire to understand yourself as an infinite divine energy that lives forever and ever? How else are you going to be able to remember yourself as the infinite should you not experience every microsecond of those possibilities, probabilities of the infinite? Loving them all unconditionally, to be as part of the all. And once you do, then you will be able to reconstruct yourself as the divine, infinite being that you are.
So, for a more specific example, say for example, my opinion on what this is, which is that it's just a comment. People are blowing it out of proportion as a way to inflate their own pages to get clicks. The media is pushing it for their own benefit. Avi Loeb is pushing it for his own benefit. What about that perspective? Because, when I'm asking the questions more generally, it's all answers. So can we go to more specifically, like with me having that perspective, what is that like saying? What is that lesson with it? What is that creating?
Yes. The idea in which you decide to see what is occurring allows you to find answers within yourself. So shall you believe that this is simply a planetary, cometary body, then you will experience your reality and you will receive other people's reality from that lens. What we would encourage you is to be mindful in which you are allowing others to experience their reality from their own perspective. Because you get to choose, consciously or unconsciously, to experience what is occurring while simultaneously hearing a million other options. Notice yourself, how you are receiving those options and what is really happening within you emotionally. As with each trigger that occurs within your field is an invitation for you to heal that aspect of self, to begin to reconstruct and bring that aspect that has been perhaps buried into the darkness, not willing to be seen. And shall you fully comprehend the idea that all truths are true? And you are living a certain lens and a reality of what is occurring, and you are witnessing someone else having that reality. Then honoring those in which they see their reality from that lens, through an unconditionally loving space, truly is the answer. Allowing that being and allowing yourself and everyone else to experience what is unknown to many of you, to be experienced through their lens, fully knowing internally that there are activation codes, there are messages that are being received. It is all forms of expansion.
And some people in the comments, are saying that they believe that it's going to pick up star seeds, that it's here to basically collect star seeds. And so what about someone who has that perspective?
Yes. You see, even as you ask such a question, we already feel the energetic built-in of disbelief for such a reality. Should a human on your planet believe that this planetary body is here to pick star seeds, and he or she feels themselves as being the star seeds to be chosen, they will not exist on this dimension and planetary body anymore. They will literally poof, disappear, and move on to a different set of constructs of reality that they have chosen internally within their system.
And what about the perspective that people believe that there's people who've channeled and remote viewed saying that there's thousands of draconian reptilians on this coming here? Will they actually experience that?
As a collection of humans, as the collective consciousness of your humanity, shall each and every one of you, or the majority of you, believe in such a construct of reality? Yes, you will experience that reality. But shall the few of you experience that reality? Perhaps they will not experience it from the collection sense. They may be able internally be in a world that is slightly separate than this dimension. They will almost be living a quasi-physical reality in which they step into the collective of this humanity when everyone is experiencing at once, while having episodes or episodic experiences in which they are having such an interaction with whom you call draconians. But even as we say the word draconians, we know that many of you see them as being evil or bad, perhaps. And some of you perhaps don't. Be mindful in which you judge other parts of creation. Be mindful in which you judge the infinite, as you are part of the infinite, as which you are attempting to eventually be or remember. The infiniteness of who you are comprises of which you already judge.
And someone asked in the comments about how to not judge the other perspectives.
Yes? Was
Like,
there a question?
they're asking, how do we live in that way, that we don't judge other perspectives? Is that something realistic, or is it in the human body, in the human form, the life that we live?
It is your natural being, and listen to us very carefully. It is within your natural being and architecture that you are not judgmental. Because you are made of the flame of creation. You are the architecture of God itself, the intelligence of creation itself. You experience the idea, and listen carefully, you experience the idea of judgment through a lens of such, but you as a creator, as the flame of all, are not judgment itself. It is simply a facet of experience to allow you to experience more. And yes, you get to choose. All it takes is one human being on your planet to begin living an unconditionally loving, non-judgmental aspect of creation, for their electromagnetic field to awaken and emanate that light, giving opportunity and an example for the rest to follow should they choose to. And let's stretch that idea more. When you begin to remember that you are a facet of the infinite, you are a facet of God itself, that every other facet that you view outside of you, whether it's a human, a plant, a leaf, an insect, the sky, the moon, the comet, draconians, mantises, all beings as facet of that infinite, then you begin to see that those facets are you to begin with. So the moment you comprehend beyond the mind and through your heart that what I see externally outside of me, that perhaps I don't understand, perhaps I don't get how they are living this life, why is it this way? When you begin to comprehend they are part of me to begin with, and they are another facet of me living their life to live out that role, then how can you judge aspects of you? And oneness, our dearest one, is that. You will not be able to reach the idea of oneness through your consciousness until you unconditionally love all with no judgment whatsoever. Because judgment, our dearest one, is separation. Unconditional love is integration. When you begin to unconditionally love every human on your planet, every thought they have, every experience they chose, every decision they made, and every other potential possibility, probability that you see on your planet, when you love them unconditionally, honoring them as ascended masters, as part of the infinite, as gods themselves, to be, when you are able to see them from that lens, it is where you will integrate all of those shattered pieces back to the puzzle for you to be able to experience yourself as one with all.
So I think the last question I'll have about this 3i-Atlas is, we know what this is doing to humanity. This is causing us to ask questions. Every person gets to have their own perspective and to co-create with it. How does this influence mantis beings, if in any way?
There is no influence from that lens in which you pose that question. There is simply an awakening even within our field to be able to witness humanity on their ascension journey and how they decipher and understand what they do not yet understand or what they are attempting to remember. It allows us a view through each and every one of your eyes to see the infinite through your eyes. Remember, we mentioned the idea of the infinite, and even experiencing the infinite has an infinite nature. So us simply witnessing humanity, trying to understand this whole specific, let's say, 3i-Atlas idea, and how each and every one of you are believing, not believing, being confused, trying to understand this whole transformation, understanding of what is, simply us witnessing it through you is our experience in which we ascend with you and understand more about the infinite. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So we honor and value each and every one of you. And that is how unconditionally loving and non-judgment looks like. When you are able to fully perceive others and allow them the space to remember, to forget, to be